Good evening, everybody. Happy Halloween. I think the scariest part about Halloween is all the cancer people are going to be giving their kids tonight. Oh, no, Jordan, you freaking party pooper. Why would you go say that? I'm just kidding. I'll be stealing some of my kids' candy this weekend. You know, less cancer for him, more for me. I'll take the slings and arrows for him. What's up, guys? Honestly, it's been kind of a boring past couple of days. We'll go through some stuff tonight. A little bit on Snap. Elon Musk was just on Joe Rogan's podcast. We got a couple clips from that. Him talking about flying cars and illegal immigration. Some dumb judges doing dumb things. A little bit on the whole 3-Eye Atlas, comet, alien spaceship, whatever it is. Climate emergency, Bill Gates. And clip of J.D. Vance talking about Palantir. Pretty much it. Not too much. I'll be going off on some rants and tangents, I'm sure. Hanging out with the chat tonight. For all the people out there with no plans like me, tuning in live. But it's all right. Cool. Appreciate y'all for being here. First off, real quick, though. Badlands Media. On The Daily Show. What? Shout out to Shipwreck. If you don't know Shipwreck, she is pretty darn based. And she's got a Wednesday show on Badlands. And she had Marjorie Taylor Greene as a guest the other night on Badlands. And clips of that show of them together are kind of making their rounds. The Daily Show featured a clip of it. Of course, The Daily Show is going to be doing Daily Show things.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
But I have not seen what The Daily Show was doing and saying. Let's see.
Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files. Release the Epstein files.
Oh my God. Okay, breathe. Breathe, Desi. Breathe. Get it together. Get it together. Get it together. Okay, it's probably just the wrong number. So what? Marjorie Taylor Greene has said a few reasonable things. That doesn't mean that we have the same feelings about the Republican Party.
I'm beyond pissed off at my own party and the leadership in the House and the Senate that they are totally blowing it.
Many times I hate my own party.
I'm mad at Republicans. They never do what they promise they're going to do. I want to hold Republicans accountable. I want Republicans to do the job. I'm so angry at my own party, and I'm angry at all the men in leadership in the House and the Senate. And I'm like, you guys are weak and pathetic.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was pretty rad there, man. You see that? You see that little logo up there? Pretty rad, dude. On the freaking Daily Show. Nice.
Based.
All right. We'll be going through some Trump's Truth Social posts. He's speaking about his meeting with Chinese President Xi. Speaking of Snap. That's what we'll start with. But before we get there, a couple of quick shout-outs. Thank yous. Mucho gracias. Much appreciated. Kristen became a member on Patreon. Thank you, Kristen, for signing up on Patreon. Thank you, Bohemian Girl, for sending a donation to the tip jar, the PayPal tip jar. Thank you for that one. And then thank you to Alana, sending a small tip over to Buy Me a Coffee. Says, really glad you're back. I've never been gone. Just back to YouTube, though. Here's a small thank you for her appreciation of the knowledge and insight on topics. Thank you. Missed the live, but Gangster's Paradise was epic. Nice. Yeah, maybe we'll play that tonight. Good tune. And go check out the All My Links page. I got banned on Linktree. Friggin' Linktree of all places. They banned me in 2021. So now I'm using All My Links as a landing page for All My Links. So you can find website there, link to my private health coaching group on School. Links to all the video channels, YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, live streams on Pilled, the Conscious Strength website, Substack articles there, links to Locals, Patreon, Subscribestar, the tip jars, one-time donation pages, Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, Crypto, and all of the shitpost platforms. Twitter, Telegram, Instagram, True Social, Gab. I really don't post to TikTok at all, but if you want to go follow there, I've got a few videos on it. All right. What is the Commander-in-Chief saying about SNAP? Our government lawyers do not think we have the legal authority to pay SNAP with certain monies we have available, and now 2 courts have issued conflicting opinions on what we can and cannot do. I don't want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refuse to do the right thing and reopen the government. Therefore, I have instructed our lawyers to ask the court to clarify how we can legally fund SNAP as soon as possible. Hey, judges, hey, lawyers, why are you confusing us? You're saying we can fund it, but you're all saying we can't fund it. Isn't it interesting how a couple of weeks ago it was no kings, no kings. And now here we are. And they are screaming, feed me, king, feed me, king. Something like that. 42 million people. $100 billion a year. And that does not count the state-issued food stamps. So $100 billion a year in taxpayer-subsidized food for low-income individuals and families is probably far more than $100 billion a year because some states have their own food stamp programs. Then you have the federal government one, SNAP, that everybody's arguing over. They're all saying it's Trump's fault, Orange man bad, blame the orange man because of course. Meanwhile, have not we had 13 different votes and Senate Democrats voted no to reopen the government? And the reason why the Senate Democrats voted no is because it didn't have the wording in there for all the illegal immigrants' health care and funding and whatnot. That's all the Senate Democrats want. They'll reopen the government if the government gives all this frickin' money to illegal immigrants. Because that's the only way they can get votes these days. They're desperate to give the illegal immigrants handouts so they will keep coming into this country and then vote for Democrats. Because after Doge has been cleaning up Social Security, cleaning up some of these agencies, less ways to rig the system, rig the elections now. Many less ways. And one of the only ways the left side of the political aisle can effectively rig elections is legal immigrant votes. So they're desperate. It's pure desperation. That's why they won't vote to reopen the government without those stipulations in there. And then they're doing the gaslighting thing and blaming Orange Man bad for keeping government closed. More political nonsense.
Are you not entertained?
So we'll see. We'll see what happens with SNAP. That money dries up, what, tomorrow? November 1st? Tomorrow? Out of the 42 million people getting SNAP benefits, I don't even know what number I'd place on that. Like what percentage it would be of people who actually deserve it versus the people getting SNAP benefits that are just lazy and fat, buying Coca-Cola with it and won't go find a job to get off SNAP benefits. I was running some numbers today during today's Maha News show on Badlands, and $100 billion a year estimates range that some of these mega food companies, we're talking Coca-Cola, General Mills, Tyson Foods, Kroger, Nabisco, etc. They probably get on anywhere because you think, right? The low-income folks getting SNAP benefits, most of them are going out to the big box stores, Safeway, Walmart, Albertsons, big box grocery stores, and they're buying big box garbage food companies products. So General Mills, Kroger, Coke and Pepsi. There's probably 10 companies tops, 10 mega food companies tops that have 80% of the $100 billion SNAP money spent on their products. So each of those companies are probably getting 8% each of the $100 billion a year of SNAP. Coca-Cola is probably getting 7 or 8%. There's people out there just going to buy freaking Coke and Pepsi. Coke products. Odwalla owned by Coke too. Some of these juice and beverage companies are owned by Coke. So it's not just Coke. If they go by Odwalla, that's a Coke product. So 7-8% of $100 billion, $7 billion a year of our money going to Coke. Man, it's not just the people on Snap freaking out over the Snap system, but dude, I would imagine some of these mega food companies are like, they're stressed out. I mean, like, this meme here, right? I love this meme because it describes the revolving door of bullshit, or what we could describe as the self-licking ice cream cone. It's how government works. God, it's beautiful how they set it up. I might have talked about this on Wednesday, but I got to talk about it again. Step 1, my taxes pay for people's SNAP, and then they go buy junk food with it, and then they're fat and unhealthy. And then my taxes pay for their health care. And then my taxes pay for their food. And then they go buy Coke and Cheerios with it. And then they're fat and unhealthy. And then my taxes pay for their health care. It's crazy. I don't want my money going to Coke. Oh my God, but look, some of it is. And I don't even have a choice. Self-licking ice cream cone. Right. What do we got next? A Trump post about meeting with President Xi. This one was interesting. Had a truly great meeting with President Xi. Enormous respect between our two countries. We agreed on many things. I was extremely honored by the fact that President Xi authorized China to begin buying a bunch of farm products from the U.S. I would like to thank President Xi additionally for agreeing to continue the flow of rare earth minerals, magnets. China also stated they'll work to stop fentanyl. China also agreed to begin the process of purchasing American energy. Large-scale transaction might take place concerning oil and gas from Alaska. That's kind of a doozy. Chinese tariffs might go down soon as well. Pretty darn compelling case. A lot of evidence to suggest. And Ghost and Burning Bright, some of the folks over at Badlands do a far better job of describing this situation than I do. But maybe some of these world leaders that look like enemies on the surface aren't actually enemies, and they're working together behind the scenes to bring freedom to their countries and take down the New World Order, take down the globalists. And it could be such that Putin, President Xi, and Trump are some of those folks actually kind of maybe working together a little bit behind the scenes. Because China's a big place with a lot of people in China. And there's a lot of different factions in China. Right? So some of those factions probably want more cooperation around the world. Not a communist government. A little more freedom in China too. And then you got some of those factions going full commie Illuminati. Good compelling case to suggest there. Venezuela. The Trump administration has decided to strike military installations in Venezuela with attacks possible at any moment. Oh my gosh.
No shit, Sherlock.
I accidentally pressed 2 buttons there at once. I meant this one.
What?
But this was reported on by the Miami Herald. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio came out saying your sources claiming to have knowledge of the situation tricked you into writing a fake story. Got to be careful of those headlines, man. Got to be careful of those headlines. People will fall for them and think they're fake. Much like this headline right here. I had to bring it up real quick. I was not planning on talking about this, but this came to mind. Another fake headline that people fell for. This one right here. Once the ads get off my screen. Kash Patel shuts down Charlie Kirk foreign intelligence probe in explosive feud with Trump's counterterror chief. I saw a bunch of dingbats on Instagram. Dude, ads. Oh my God. I don't want to see that obese lady. Probably buying a bunch of Snap food. Anyway, whatever. I saw a bunch of dingbats who claim to be truthers, claim to be conspiracy theorists on Twitter and on Instagram sharing this story as if it was legit, just believing the headline. Not doing 5 seconds of research to read it and realize, oh, wow, this shit is according to the New York Times, according to anonymous sources from the New York Times. That's who ran this headline. That Kash Patel shut down Charlie Kirk investigation. And yet they're sharing it like it's legit. Same thing. We can go back to our Miami Herald here. Trump administration is literally going to attack Venezuela now. Attacks possible at any moment.
See this guy? Number 1 bullshit guy.
Oh, did Alex Jones share this? I didn't even know Alex Jones shared it. I saw some blonde bimbos on Instagram sharing that Kash Patel Charlie Kirk story. What was the name of one of them? Patriotic Blonde or something or other. And then they get 50,000 shares on it, and they've got 50,000 or 100,000 followers on their pages. People look to them as being truth influencers, and yet they can't do any due diligence, 5 seconds of research. Think twice. Oh, the New York Times reported on that? Maybe, just maybe.
You are fake news.
So, be careful. Be careful of those people that just regurgitate the comments or regurgitate the social media posts or the headlines. Sometimes you can, but you gotta check into it. Miami Herald says Trump administration is literally going to attack Venezuela at any moment. 5 seconds later, Trump says he's not considering striking Venezuela. Nope. And Senate votes to terminate Trump's tariffs, 51-47, but don't worry. That would then have to get voted on in the House, and Speaker Johnson indicated measures like that are DOA, dead on arrival. 4 Republicans voted to overturn Trump's tariffs. Mitch McConnell, not surprising. Susan Collins, not surprising. Lisa Murkowski, not surprising. And Rand Paul. Rand. Why you do this, Rand?
And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
I'm sorry. The best Paul is Ron Paul. Rand, just go after Fauci. You're great doing that. But right here, you're just a little bitch. Tariffs are fine. Tariffs are good. We like tariffs. That you should. I didn't have it teed up, but yesterday Trump shared a meme on his page about abolishing the income tax and just funding everything with tariff. I would have to scroll for a few minutes to find it, but pretty dasting. I would agree. Rand Paul and Thomas Massey. Chat says Kentucky can do better than Rand Paul and Thomas Massey. I'll take Rand Paul and Thomas Massey over a crazy blackmailed woke progressive, but they're a little diet woke. Not gonna lie. Rand Paul and Thomas Massey. It depends on the topic, but they're a little diet woke sometimes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not like licking the Republicans Party's boot over here. Plenty of them are diet woke. Plenty of them. But I think people fawn over Thomas Massey. Again, it depends on the topic. I love Thomas Massey when it comes to like his agriculture. Like I love his little farm he has out there in Kentucky. His personal ranch and his self-reliance he does on there. A lot of what Thomas Massey says is cool, but you got a bunch of the libertarian folk out there that think Massey is the best thing since sliced bread. And, meh. Cool. All right. Am I streaming on YouTube? I don't see the chat coming in. Did I, Hold on, let me check real quick. I might have screwed up on the time. No, we're streaming. We're streaming over there. All right. It is Halloween. A lot of people out doing things. So I don't expect the biggest crowd tonight. All good? Cool. Senate. Bunch of dumb senators in there. Federal judge rules Trump can't require citizenship proof on the federal voting form. Big freaking surprise. What judge? What judge? District Judge Colleen Collar Cotelli. Whoa. Colleen is the new Karen. Let's check out Colleen. Oh! Judge in Washington, D.C., appointed by Bill Clinton. Why am I not shocked? Senior district judge in Washington, D.C. Previously the presiding judge of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. When was that? Was that during the Russiagate stuff? No, that looks like it was during the Bush years when she allowed the NSA to spy on everybody. This was the judge that blocked Trump's ban on transgender people in the military. This was the judge that tried to block Doge from accessing the Treasury Department's payment system. She's been going real hard against trying to block Trump from requiring proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. Wow. I thought judges were supposed to be unbiased and impartial. So I expect this will be fought and won. I don't expect this judge to do much in this case, but she can try. Speaker Mike Johnson erupts after learning Democrats actually sued the USDA for asking how many illegal aliens are on welfare. Wait. They probably could have wrote that headline a little better. So the USDA asked how many illegal aliens are on welfare, and then Democrats sued them for asking? Yeah, therein is the issue, as Elon Musk explains here on Joe Rogan.
The entire basis for the government shutdown is that the Trump administration correctly does not want to send massive amounts of, like, hundreds of billions of dollars to fund illegal immigrants in the blue states, or in all the states, really. And so the Democrats want to keep the money spigot going to incent illegal immigrants to come into the U.S. who will vote for them. That's the crux of the battle.
That is the crux of the battle. Oh, my YouTube stream's a bit mixed up. Title is wrong, and I'm showing the chat for the wrong one. Okay, I get what happened. I forgot to click the buttons in restream. The right buttons. Shit. That means I'm streaming over Wednesday's show. And Wednesday's show is going to be gone now. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. Being back on YouTube, working it into, figuring out what buttons to click and how to set all the streams up and everything. My bad. You said I'm showing the chat for the wrong one? Okay, hold up. Ah, shit. I am streaming over Wednesday's show. Bummer. What buttons to click? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, my bad. Derp. Thank you, Smokes, for letting me know. Let's fix it here. Yoink. And hold on. I'm going to have to go to this screen. There we go. All right, what's up, guys? Well, I was feeling a little lonely because I didn't see the chat going. I was feeling like nobody liked me. All right. My bad. It is what it is. I got YouTube back. Enemy number 1. Yeah. Hey, that's how we reach new people. YouTube sucks, for sure, for many reasons, but 2 billion people are on it. And a lot of people hadn't heard from me in 5 years. So, yes, I will stream to YouTube whenever I can. I got no problem uploading there. But I'm still not giving up Rumble, and I'm still not giving up Pilled. Cool. All right. We got the YouTube chat in. Back to Elon. He says the thing. He says the thing that needed to be said. That's cool. All right. Flying cars. I have a lot of thoughts on this. So I'll be going on probably a 10-minute tangent after we watch this couple-minute clip. Elon Musk says the new Tesla Roadster will be one of the most unforgettable things ever experienced. Teases that it may be able to fly. Oh, well, all right.
Are you still doing the Roadster?
Yes.
Eventually?
We're getting close to demonstrating the prototype.
Like how
and
close?
I think this will be... one thing I can guarantee is that this product demo will be unforgettable. Unforgettable.
How so?
Whether it's good or bad, it will be unforgettable.
Can you say more? What do you mean?
Well, my friend Peter Thiel, once reflected that the future was supposed to have flying cars, but we don't have flying cars.
Why is that? Could it be such that we very well could have 60 years ago, but some powers that ought not be got control of the patent systems, got control of the... just a freaking system. Suicided the inventors that were working on technologies that could have liberated us in terms of energy, in terms of propulsion. Why don't we have flying cars? Military industrial complex, keeping some technologies locked away in super secret black projects. Chat says Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. Bogus knows. Bogus knows. That's one of the keys right there. Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 essentially said that a whole laundry list of government agencies could strike patents and technologies secret for quote-unquote national security reasons, which of course could be very, very vague and used in a variety of ways. You can find some declassified lists from like the 1970s of some of the technologies that were struck secret under the Invention Secrecy Act. And you can find, like, the Air Force would strike magneto-hydrodynamic propulsion system secret. I believe NASA and the Air Force had a stipulation of any solar photovoltaic cell that had greater than, it was like 80% efficiency, or was it 80 or 20? One of those. Over a certain efficiency percentage would be classified. So, let's finish this video and then I'll keep going on it.
So you're going to be able to fly?
Well, I mean, I think if Peter wants a flying car, he should be able to buy one.
So are you actively considering making an electric flying car? Is this like a real thing?
Well, you have to see in the
demo.
Yeah.
So when you do this, like, are you going to have a retractable wing? Like, what is the idea behind this?
Wings, bro. It is tough to listen to this podcast because Elon Musk is like nails on a chalkboard to listen to. I'm sorry, Elon. And Joe Rogan gets dumbfounded over the most basic shit. First of all, flying cars. Okay, if you had a vehicle that would lift off and you could drive it, you'd essentially have to get a pilot's license. So I'm sure if and when flying and or levitating vehicles became mass produced, there would have to be some kind of overhaul of the regulatory system to, make sure people are capable of flying them without dying or killing other people. Also, wings. The whole freaking thing on wings. Dude, there are already personal drones that people can buy. Personal flying drone. Companies are already making these. They're like just big helicopter, big drone things. I mean, they're already out there. You can already buy one. So if it has wings or propellers to fly, I'm not impressed. If it's still using Bernoulli's principle to propel itself, if it has propellers like a helicopter or wings like a plane, and it requires those wings to create lift or those propellers to generate lift and move forward or up, not impressed. I will be impressed if, I don't know if I want to say when, because I'm not expecting, honestly, much from Elon at this point. I think he's more interested in his businesses than doing what should be done. But if and or when Elon or anybody else brings out levitating technology combining electromagnetism and gravity, electrogravitics. If Elon's vehicle has a propellantless propulsion system that doesn't require wings or propellers but utilizes electricity and couples it with gravity to move forward and up, then I will be impressed. Otherwise, big deal. Electric drone, basically. What's your range on that? 3 feet? How long is it going to take to charge? 15 days? Where are you going to get the batteries for it? China? So yes, at this stage, I am not impressed. I have a feeling, okay, he might make it autonomously piloted, like, you know, okay, that'd be a little neat. You can sit in this thing, flies you around. It's self-driving. Okay, but still. Propellers and wings. We've been using that for 100 and how many years? Cars are still propelled the same way as they were 100 years ago. Controlled explosions. Make turbine go burr. Move shaft, turn wheel. Sure, they have more computers and gizmos and gadgets, but the underlying mechanism of movement is the same. With aircraft, with cars, using controlled explosions and air. No, it is time. It is time to bring out the next actual generation, the next actually advanced propulsion technologies, the exotic systems that we shouldn't even call exotic. It's just esoteric science that the powers that be hide from us and brainwash us with retarded wrong physics in school. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Controlled explosions are pretty fun. No, it is the uncontrolled explosions that are cool. Boom! But it's archaic shit, though. Find some fuel, light it on fire in a tube, and move forward. It's so inefficient. The efficiency numbers on engines are quite low. Relatively speaking. Quite low. Rockets, I mean, how many tons of fuel does Elon need to put on one of his giant phallic rockets? Dude, you need so much fuel for those things. It's so inefficient. Then you got to make the rocket bigger to handle the weight of the fuel. And you got to put more fuel in it because rocket's bigger. Vibrations of the future, man. Exactly. Figuring out force fields and how they interrelate. Electricity, magnetism, and gravity. Realizing that everything in our universe spins, everything's in motion, and we can harness that motion. Sorry, flat earthers, but the earth is round and it rotates, which gives us two balanced forces, centripetal and centrifugal motion, angular momentum everywhere. Everything spins, everything rotates, everything's spinning around each other. We can use that motion, that gyroscopic motion, we can harness that. Not just physically, but non-physically, through force fields. Which is why something like a Searle effect generator, you're counter-rotating those force fields together. Which can theoretically create lift. Not just theoretically. So these rollers spin while it spins. Tons of angular momentum. These rollers spin while they move and spin around the central axis. Counter-rotating electromagnetic fields. You counter-rotate them at specific angles to each other, and you can effectively capture electrons, create more energy than it takes to run it over unity, free energy, and generate lift. That's just one device. There's many others. But until stuff like that comes out, big deal. What the hell? Chat says, my comments are being censored. Jordan is censoring anything about Israel. I'm done here. Controlled opposition. Nice try. Nice try, buddy.
Are you not entertained?
I've not deleted your comments, but I will now. Bye. Glad to hear me say that about Flat Earth. Oh, man. Dude. Some of those Flat Earthers out there are just vile people. They're in a cult. They brainwash themselves into thinking the Earth's a pancake. It's one of the most retarded things. There are so many verifiable ways you can just realize that it's a roundish object that spins and spins as it spins. Anyway. Speaking of the cosmos, 3-Eye Atlas makes unusual shift while hurtling towards the sun. It's a possible alien spacecraft. Again, headlines. Be careful of the headlines. You know who said this? One of our least favorite Israeli scientists, Abraham Loeb. Manhattan-sized comet allegedly executed an unusual maneuver while approaching the sun earlier this week, fueling theories it could be an extraterrestrial spacecraft. In a recent blog post, Avi Loeb cited a report from NASA, which he claimed provided evidence of a non-gravitational acceleration by whatever it is. Here's Avi Loeb's blog post. Remember, Avi Loeb is the Harvard scientist who runs the Galileo Project, which is I think it's a nonprofit. NGO. I think it's a nonprofit. But their stated mission is to search the cosmos for signs of extraterrestrial life. So, our buddy boy Avi Loeb here has a vested interest in basically alien clickbait. He's trying to turn anything he can into, oh my God, it's aliens. Please fund my project. Yeah, maybe there's something weird with this. Maybe it's not a comet. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's a freaking recon craft from the Galactic Federation Pleiadians. I don't know. But stories like this, big deal. I don't care. I just wasting people's time, honestly. And I'm not going to waste my time worrying about it unless something major happens and oh my God, earth-shattering news that's breaking news primetime. But until then, why is it important to look at? What's the big deal? It's really not. I'm already of the belief that there is an intelligent life in the cosmos. Some little spacecraft hurtling through our solar system isn't going to do anything for me. And then on to fake moon landing theories. So I guess Kim Kardashian out here. I don't know where this video is from. Recent TV show, recent vlog of hers. But I guess she said in this video, the moon landing's fake.
I'm sending you, so far, 1 million interviews with both Buzz Aldrin and the other one.
Do it.
This girl says, what was the scariest moment? And he goes, there was no scary moment because it didn't happen. It could have been scary, but it wasn't because it didn't happen. So he's gotten old and now he slurs.
Are they putting on makeup for a Halloween costume? That's my first question. All that makeup and plastic surgery makes them look like freaks. Makes them look like the aliens that Neil Armstrong found on the moon.
Could have been scary, but it wasn't because it didn't happen. So he's gotten old and now he like slurs on his thing. Yeah.
And then acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy retweeted that saying, "Yes, Kim Kardashian, we've been to the moon before 6 times. And even better, NASA's going to back to the moon under the leadership of Trump." So flat eartherism is pretty dumb. Was that Katy Perry? God, they get so much fat sucked out of their face. They don't even look like themselves anymore. And then the whole fake moon landing thing. I guess unpopular opinion in conspiracy theorist circles. I think NASA did go to the moon. Go argue in my comments. I don't give a shit. Be mad. I think NASA went to the moon, but I don't think that we were told of what they actually found there. I think it's quite possible there's evidence to suggest that they found structures and other things there. So it would make sense to me that, yes, there was fake moon landings filmed. There was a lot of fake content filmed to put out alongside the real stuff to muddy the waters, get everybody arguing, get everybody distracted, and it would help hide what they actually found there. Because if everybody think that we never went to the moon, what an easy way to hide anything classified they wanted to keep secret on the moon, right? And as chat just suggested, what publicly? How many? What if there were programs that went to the moon non-publicly, using non-public propulsion technologies in non-public ways? We don't know what's been done secretly. So I am not a fake moon landing person. I am not a flat earther. I'm sorry. Scott in the YouTube chat, they went to the moon, but it's a mix of real and fake footage. Yeah, that makes the most sense to me. Makes the most sense to me. Somebody asked, does Israel have UFOs? No. They just don't have the space or the capability to manufacture things. Israel as a country is more into the digital realm. They've got great hackers. They've got a complex technology infrastructure, data. Their Unit 8200, Mossad, etc. They're very advanced when it comes to hacking and things of IT. But when it comes to manufacturing, nah. No. Most of that's America. And then China, over the last 20 years, they've been trying to steal American technology secrets and all that. So maybe China's developing some stuff. But mostly America. Chat says, sure, Nixon called them with a landline. Yeah. That could have been faked. But does that mean they didn't go there? Headlines of aliens doesn't do it for me anymore. The mainstream media, it's clickbait for them. It's anything UFO, UAP, extraterrestrial related. It is great clickbait for the mainstream media. So they'll run whatever. And it's not like it needs to be fact-checked because they can just report something that was said. Like from our bro Avi here. Dude just says a thing. Could be a wacky theory. And all the mainstream media needs to do is say, Wow, here's a theory suggested by this guy. It's not fact checkable. They're just reporting on somebody else's report. Pretty much. So, and people click on it because they go, oh my gosh, UFOs, aliens, I'm so interested in this stuff. It's so mysterious. Galvanizes people's interest. So, all of them do it. All the mainstream media. Climate change. Kamala Harris pushes to lower the voting age to 16 because of climate change. Claims that teenagers fear they'll be wiped out and are too afraid to have kids, so they deserve to vote. But wait, I thought Bill Gates is out here saying that there's no more climate emergency.
Economics works there.
When the climate activists who have been very supportive of what you've done and you've been very supportive of what they've done read this, and if Greta Thunberg is reading this and saying to herself, my goodness, he seems like he is reversing himself, what would you tell her?
I'd say, wasn't the goal here to improve human lives? And shouldn't we, in our awareness of how little generosity there is to help, measure, should we get them a measles vaccine or should we do some climate related activity?
Neither.
And if we stop funding all vaccines and that saved you 0.1 degree, would that be a smart trade-off? That's the kind of question.
Neither. Both. Whatever. I think that's all we got, folks. Wait. JD's video on Palantir. I guess he was at a TPUSA event the other day, and one of the questioners brought up Palantir. I haven't watched this whole clip yet. Let's hear JD Vance's response. Now, this is I found this notable because in truth-seeking internet land, this is one criticism that a few folks out there have of JD Vance. They think he's owned and controlled by Palantir. He's a Peter Thiel brainchild. I don't know. I'm just saying what they say. I'm not saying that's what I believe. It's just a claim. So let's see what JD Vance has to say about data company Palantir.
Hello, Vice President Vance.
How you doing?
Good. I have a question. Do you condone large private corporations such as Palantir?
Wow, that audio is low. Closed captions on this? Nope.
Hoarding data caches on U.S. citizens?
No, I don't condone it. And here's the thing. So I get asked about Palantir a lot because there's this internet meme out there that somehow I am super in bed with Palantir. And here's the thing that I'd say about this. Palantir is a private company. They sometimes do a useful service, and sometimes they're going to do things that we don't like. You should be demanding that your representatives do two things when it comes to Palantir or when it comes to any other technology company. Number one, protecting your data. What's going on with artificial intelligence?
So he basically says, people ask me about Palantir all the time. They think I'm in bed with them and owned by them, blah, blah, blah. He says you should do the same thing with Palantir as you do with any data company. Call for your representatives to keep them in check, essentially. Keep your data secure, blah, blah, blah. All right. Good response, I guess. JD Vance is in the pocket of Maybelline. Big makeup. I'm going to go through some of the comments here and bring in some music. It's Friday, so Friday means blues. Oh, yeah. NASA, never a straight answer. That's not true. As with, you know, as with just the world in general, the best way to get people to believe a lie is wrap it in 90% truth, right? So you can get truthful information from NASA if it's not controversial. I mean, during the summer, when wildfires are going on, and I want to check smoke quality, I want to check how these wildfires are doing, I have a road trip to take or whatever, and I want to see what the path's going to be like. I typically go to a NASA satellite, a thermal imaging satellite. I think it's called the FIRM satellite, and it gives me a truthful map of where wildfires are around the country. So you can get good data from NASA. It's just when it comes to the controversial stuff, when it comes to the things they want to fib about, climate, life in the cosmos, propulsion, yeah. Maybe slightly blue. Slightly hungover. Is this a comment or a question, or is it rhetorical? I don't understand. It says South Pole has a hidden world that's way there, an ice wall around the continent to keep us out, so keep it hidden? No. Ice wall. My favorite is all the AI flat earth slop on Instagram. With like AI videos of big ice walls surrounding the whole planet and crap like that. People probably make that to post as a joke, to troll, and then you'll get a select few people that will believe the videos. There's climate change, but it's not man-made. It's a whole lot of factors causing climate disruption, like cosmic rays, core heating up, explaining. Yeah, the sun. And cosmic galactic factors, I'm sure, as well. Our solar system moving through a more dense, energetic region of the galaxy. And these things happen cyclically, so the climate is changing, yes. Is it caused by humans? No. Does that mean we should do whatever we want industrially? No. We don't want to poison the planet. Carbon dioxide, not a big deal at all. In fact, it's a little healthier to put some out in the atmosphere. From what I understand, our atmosphere is actually quite low in carbon dioxide as opposed to far back in the history. But pesticides, toxic chemicals, forever chemicals, much bigger problem than carbon dioxide. How do they get through the Van Allen belts? Polymers. They can coat the craft in polymers that essentially make them like a Faraday cage. Also, the Van Allen belts are not consistent. There's areas of them that are weaker than others. But yeah, the Van Allen belts are not really that big of a deal. I'm always curious how the flat earthers make up all this bullshit. Dude, I'm bewildered by how a lot of people on the internet come up with a lot of BS. Yeah, lead-based polymers. How about nanoplastics causing the oceans not to work properly? I like how you finish all your statements in a question. What do you mean by that, though? I mean, all the micro nanoplastics in everywhere. Our balls and brains and streams and oceans, yeah, it's an issue for sure. But what specifically? What do you mean not work properly? Is the ocean not working properly? Question. Have I looked through any Q posts for today or any interesting deltas? You still a Q believer? Go check through some of my recent videos. And I think that would answer your question. In short, yes, I do think the Q posts were a legitimate operation ran by some folks around Trump during his first term. But I hesitate to align with much of the Q movement these days. I think there are a lot of grifters and people just doing retarded things with the Q drops, coming up with the most ridiculous decodes, and you know, they're addicted to the high they felt 6 years ago, or they want to just some fame and money for themselves. So, ooh, I'm gonna jump into the movement and make a podcast for myself. And yeah. Like, who was the philosopher that said, "I like your Christ, I don't like your Christians, but I like your Christ"? It's kind of like that, right? I like the Q posts. I don't like these Q followers, but I like the Q posts. Do I think Q will post again? 50-50. 50-50. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. Yeah, it's one thing about climate change, too. You got to factor in the weather modification. Although, I think a lot of the geoengineering, the effects of it are quite localized. So whether it comes to the lines they're spraying in the skies or the Gwen towers or Nexrad towers that they flip on, I think most of those effects are regional. They're going to be regional. But in terms of global climate change, I don't think the New World Order can influence global climate factors all that much. My own personal belief. Have I ever heard of the Creative Society? No, I haven't. You speculate Elon Musk is Q. I would disagree with that one. Respectfully. I don't think Elon Musk has any involvement, at least in the core, like the core team or group that was fully read in on the Q operation. I do not think Elon Musk was one of them. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. You think Elon Musk is brought into the inner circle a little bit about the main plan? Well, yeah, I mean, tangentially, Elon Musk has for sure been contacted by... Elon Musk and Trump were close. Yeah. But I'm talking about the quote-unquote less than 10 core group of a handful of folks that were read in on the full scope of the Q-op. I don't think Elon Musk was one of those less than 10. And would General Flynn be part of the less than 10? I go back and forth on that one. General Flynn had so much heat on him, especially around 2017, in 2016 during the Russiagate spying, that I could see them having General Flynn distanced from that core team just for protection, operational security. Although I could be wrong. Now, would Elon Musk or General Flynn, if they weren't part of that core team, would they ever have had contact with somebody that was a part of that core team? Probably. Would they know that that person was a part of the core team? Probably not. I mean, if Elon or Flynn aren't a part of that core Q group, they're close. Which I think is more likely, frankly. It's like layers of an onion, though. You've got core group, very select few that are read in on full scope, and then you've got layers of people around them who have no idea really what's going on, but they're tasked with certain things. All right, other topics. Plastic pollution is affecting the world environment like plants and humans. Oh yeah. Screwing up our hormones, man. That's why men's balls don't have as many swimmers anymore. All them xenoestrogens. Candace, Tucker, and Elon being a part of Q. I mean, they're no. Not Candace or Tucker. If I were to speculate, who do I think would it have been? If I were to make an educated guess, I don't really even care to. I don't even bother with the who anymore. And frankly, most of the people involved in it probably aren't folks we can find their names publicly. So that's why I don't even bother to speculate on it. Any predictions of economy stock crypto crash and black swans? I don't know. Crypto markets aren't looking too hot right now, though. I'll tell you that. When it comes to crypto, respect the TA, respect the technical analysis. And they've been going up, up, up for like 2.5, almost 3 years now. They're just looking kind of weak. I wouldn't be shocked if crypto gets into like a bear market for a little while. In terms of stonks, yeah, I don't know. It's just insane how much up it's been going. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit of a stagnation in the stonks for a bit as well. Scroll through some more of these comments. What's my opinion on the whole black fatigue thing going around? I mean, I have human fatigue sometimes. I'm not racist because I hate all races equally. How about that? It's just like each respective demographic has their culture. The whites, the Asians, the blacks, the Mexicans. A lot of things about these cultures are good. Some things are bad. Pattern recognition is a thing too, right? And if they don't want their culture to be viewed in such a way, they need to be good representatives of whether it's the color of their skin culture or the religion they identify with culture. You don't want people to look at you as one of those blacks or one of those Jews or one of those white honkies. And be a good representative. Help change the stereotype. Stereotypes are there for a reason. And they don't always apply. There's some white men out there that actually can jump. So stereotypes aren't a fact. They're just a generalization. But the stereotypes are there because generally the shoe fits.
Stop treating me wrong.
And sometimes they're just facts. Like, it's not racist. It's just fact. %, right? It's been and there's other facts. It's been scientifically studied that black people have oftentimes higher amounts of type 2 muscle fibers, the fast twitch ones. That's why you see black people playing sports like American football. And then white people tend to have more slow twitch muscle fibers. That's why you see them doing endurance sports. And again, it's not always the case. You got the black Kenyans that run marathons. You got some white guys playing cornerback for the Eagles. But it's just like, it's not racist to point these things out. It's just freaking reality. Same thing with like equality with women. Generally, guys are stronger, have more muscle mass, and better bone density, thicker bone density. So, in physically taxing jobs, firefighters, military grunts, police officers, generally, you'd want to hire a male. Keep the standards where the standards should be for the physical nature of the job. If a woman can pass the tests, meet the physical standards, and she qualifies, great. Great candidate. Hire her. If she's a good fit. But don't lower the standards just to put some women in there, because women typically have different bone structure, different hormone levels, different amount of muscle mass, smaller frame. Not a sexist thing to say.
Red, there ain't no use in looking. Ever hoping to get me back.
Amazing question. Amazing question in the chat. Wow. Deep, impactful, mind-blowing. The question is, Wedgwood blue for living room walls. Any opinions? Wow. Yeah, okay. Screw conspiracy theories. I want to see if Wedgwood blue is good for living room walls. Guys, this is Wedgwood blue. That shade right there. Nah, too dark. Go lighter. Man, I'd feel like I'm in a freaking ocean or in a baby's crib or something. I need a little more, a little lighter, a little more neutral. I'd feel like I'm in a boomer house. But maybe you are a boomer, and you dig that kind of shade for a living room. Be my guest. It's all opinion, right? Ah, yes. Go lighter. That's what your partner said. She'll love this. Not a boomer. All right. Yeah, go lighter. Is that ageist? I'm ageophobic. Yes. Ageophobia. It's ghetto fatigue, but certain groups don't fight the stereotypes. Yeah, man, it's not black fatigue, it's ghetto fatigue. I'm fatigued of the friggin' ghetto crackers, too. I don't know if the 10 Days of Darkness posts are related to the shutdown happenings. I don't have boomer fatigue. If you are a boomer watching my videos, you're a good one for sure. The boomer fatigue I have are the blue hairs. Driving the Priuses. Or driving the Teslas that have the "I bought this Tesla before Elon went crazy" stickers on them. The kind of boomers that show up at the No Kings protests. That's the kind of boomer fatigue I have. Not you. You're good. I like you. All right, guys. Any last questions, comments, concerns, complaints? Let me know. Let me know. Those are called leftist. Yeah, something like that. Honestly, I'm just kind of sick of labels. I like to describe people by their actions. Labels are, the problem with them. You're scared of the government shutdown. I'm more scared of the government staying open. Haven't even noticed. But then again, I don't get food stamps. Although, I'm a little concerned because I have to travel next week. And I actually think I saw frickin' Orlando airport was having some issues. And shit, I gotta go through the Orlando airport. They had some cancellations due to staffing issues at Orlando for how long? About 5 hours. There was only 30 flight delays. And it was just in the middle of the night. Alright. I think I'll be okay. Shoot. Oh shoot, speaking of which, I better turn off all my lights outside and hide myself so I don't get no trick-or-treaters. Gosh darn trick-or-treaters, don't you see this no soliciting sign? How long of a drive to Gart if I were to road trip this one? 3 days? 4 days? I ain't driving. I'd have to like leave now. You do like this band? Who did I say it was? I didn't say it was anybody because I don't know who it is. This is just some random ass blues mix I found on YouTube. That's one good thing about YouTube, finding music. Whiskey Blues, Best of Slow Blues Rock. Yeah, just Whiskey Blues, Best of Slow Blues Rock. If I remember correctly, the thumbnail for this video was a glass of bourbon. If you want to try to look it up. It's like it's a 45-minute mix. So that'll help you find it. 46 minutes and 45 seconds. Whiskey Blues mix on YouTube. I think the thumbnail was a shot of bourbon. Glass of bourbon. Favorite music type? Dude, I like everything, but I'm very picky within the genre. I like hip hop, I like country, I like EDM, I like metal. I like a lot of things, but I'm very picky about what I like in that genre. So with country, for instance, not stupid ass pop, whatever country, but more, what do they call the subgenre these days? I think they're calling it Americana, when it's more bluesy, acoustic, like Tyler Childers type stuff. Metal for sure. A little bit of progressive. I like Tool. I like Tool a lot. But your standard Metallica, Five Finger Death Punch, Disturbed. Yeah. Electronic dance music, but not dubstep. Can't stand dubsteppy type stuff. It's got to have a good melody.
In my bedroom, just me and myself alone.
What does 10 days refer to, and when do I think the government will open? I have no idea about opening the government. was the 10 days referred to? It could refer to a lot of different things. There was one point, I think around when Q made that 10 Days of Darkness post, that maybe that was referring to Q not posting for 10 days or something that was happening around that time frame. Yeah, I don't know, man. There might be some posts we'll just never know the real answer to. We just can't worry about it or think about it so much because some things we might never know. So it's useless to expend the mental energy trying to figure it out. Do I ever listen to modern beatboxing? I have a little bit. Who's that Asian guy that does the dopamine beat? Oh my god. He needs to turn that into a legit song.
Just like a heart don't have no beat.
The Outer Banks is changing with all the houses falling into the ocean. Yep. If I were, yeah, I'm not an East Coast guy. Love to visit. Wouldn't live there. Sorry, East Coasters. I much prefer the West. All right, guys. Fun chat. See you Monday. Have a good weekend. Don't get diabetes. Diabetes mellitus this weekend. Stealing all your kids' candy. Cool. Have a good one, guys.